Gamercast Network.
Hey. All right. It's a video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the Gamercast Network video game show for Sunday, July 5th, 2009. This is episode 149. I'm Chad, and this week for the roll call, a question from Spesh23. What is your favorite video game quote? And joining us this evening is Keith.
I'm going to have to go, I hope I don't steal it from you there, Bob. Lavender and Lilacs from Warlords 3 with the Fae. And Rainbows and Buttercups. Actually, I have to go with Rainbows and Buttercups over Lavenders and Lilac. When you click on the little army guys for the Fae, they were little fairy things. They'd go, Rainbows and Buttercups! and they're an army.
Yeah. Those were fun because it was even more fun to attack people with them. Because there'd be 500 of them all screaming about flowers and sunshine.
Sunshine! Sunshine! Kill them! Sunshine!
And they'd explode like popcorn because there's always like 50 of them.
One question, were they a powerful army? Were they something to be feared?
They're a horde army. You had to just attack with like 5,000 of them. They're very annoying, which is why I like them.
And also joining us is Bob.
My favorite quote from a video game was from Serious Sam 2? Possibly 1, but I think it was 2. He says, we can do this one of two ways, my way or the hard way. It's pretty much the same thing.
I can get behind that.
And finally joining us is Ivan.
I like the Duke Nukem quotes. Like, your face, your ass, what's the difference?
That's a good one. I came here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Let's see, I'm going to have to go with the quotes from the assassin droid from Knights of the Old Republic, HK-47.
What did he say?
Oh, he's got lots of them.
I remember he was amusing. I just don't remember specifically what he said.
Here, let me give you his quotes.
Can I crush his neck now, Master? Just a little. It's been a long time fantasy of mine.
I like this one. It's just that you have all these squishy parts, Master. And all that water. How the constant sloshing doesn't drive you mad, I have no idea.
This week on the Gamercast Network. The Podcastle was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1979 to 1990, and leader of the Conservative Party from 1975 to 1990. She is the only woman to have held either post. Margaret Podcastle, only on Destructoid. This week, Podtoid will be recording their feature commentary for the first Mortal Kombat movie, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Get a DVD or not downloaded copy now, or you won't have any idea what the hell is going on. Listen to Gamertag Radio for the perfect union of music and video games. Discover the community that brings you all these great podcasts and more at GamerCastNetwork.com.
Next topic.
Okay, so starting off the show this week, Trine for the PC and PlayStation Network right now. Bob, you played it? You actually bought it. I just played the demo.
I actually bought it. Everybody's playing the demo. I skipped the demo after hearing everybody saying how awesome it was, and it really looked like something I wanted to try anyway, because it's kind of that indie feel type thing.
Yeah, a little background. This is kind of like a...
Well, I was going to do that.
Oh, do you want to do it?
Yeah, I can do that.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
I bought the game.
I'll do it.
I have material. Trine starts off as it's presented to you as a kind of a basic fantasy platformer. There's been a lot of these little kind of independent games within the past like 2 or 3 years or so that have been using a lot of physics. You got like World of Goo for one of them, and then there was like all this crayon physics where you just create objects and they fall, and most of them to this point have been kind of sandboxy kind of games. This is the first one, in my humble opinion, that integrated that kind of physics play into the mechanics of the game. It's like a basic platformer, but then you have the option of picking up stuff, moving it around. You can create things that will kind of, you can jump on top of or wedge into the gears of things that are turning and stuff and affect the kind of jumpy platforming nature of the game that way. So basic plot of the game is these three...
Amigos,
right.
Wizard.
Hey, you guys!
Stars.
warrior and the thief, like you're all come across this Trine relic, and what happens is basically their souls get fused together, and so only one of them can be interacting with the world at a time, but you can switch between the three of them all, instantaneously.
Sounds like Lost Vikings.
I have not played Lost Vikings. Maybe it is like Lost Vikings.
That's a good game.
So the idea is that each three of the characters interacts with the world in a different way. The wizard is able to create like boxes to stand on top of or platforms to walk across, and he can levitate objects in the game. The warrior is the best at fighting, obviously, but he can also destroy the stuff the wizard creates, as well as like obstacles and things like that.
I'm gonna break your arms. I'm sorry. I don't know why I find that funny. I just do.
And the thief, who is like the bow person, so she can shoot things from far away, and also has a grappling hook that allows her to, just swing around and cover great distances and stuff like that. You switch back and forth between these three guys to kind of get your way through the platforming puzzles in the game. The controls are really done very well, very intuitively.
It uses the mouse and keyboard pretty well.
It does uses the mouse and keyboard, yeah. And like that's one of the things I was concerned with, is how you're going to be able to switch back and forth. Was it going to be like a big learning curve? No, it's pretty much sit down and play it. The whole game has a really heavy amount of polish on it. Somebody really took their time and kind of worked out all the kinks. This is one of the least buggy games I've played in a very, very long time. The whole feel and look of the game is really nice. Very fairy tale storybook feel to it, and you got like your British grandpa character reading the background story as the stuff loads, and so it kind of feels like you're being read to from a storybook the whole time, and then it starts and you're in this really lush, vibrant, colorful world. And if you play the demo, you'll get a kind of a good idea of what the world's like and how you're interacting with it and stuff.
Now, here's a question. You bought the full game. Have you beaten it yet?
No. I'm like 12 boards in, maybe. That was the only thing that to me would kind of ruin it if it ended up being too short. I've got about 3, maybe 4 hours into it so far.
I hear it's about 5 to 7 hours long.
Okay. That would make sense based on what the map I was looking at. There's, they have the typical little parchment map that fills in as you go along the game, and just from how full that is, you can kind of tell where you're at.
That was my only concern with the game. Yeah, I played the demo. I liked it a lot. I didn't feel $30 for what I saw as a game that probably only lasts about 7 hours, and there's no replay value to it. It's like a playthrough once, so I was going to wait for a sale.
I can't argue with that. Only thing I can say is I couldn't see charging less than that for this game. I've played a lot of $20 video games. This is definitely a lot better than a lot of those. I mean, I paid $20 for like, all the games we were talking about a few weeks ago, the Crimson Land and the Evil Invasion, which were both worth $20. This one, it is such a clean game. This physics stuff can be very, very tricky, and I've only seen it almost kind of break once, where like one of my boxes kind of fell into the world and bounced itself back out, but that was about it.
And I don't disagree with you, except that it's $20 on the PlayStation Network.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Physics can be fun.
It is kind of short. All I can say is there are other difficulty levels, and it's got a very... What the hell was the game called, Ivan, where we had to get all the orbs?
Oh, Crackdown.
Crackdown. It's got a kind of very Crackdown feel to it, because there's little things to find, little experience orbs everywhere. I could see needing to play through it twice at least to find all that, but I don't know. Yeah, $30 may have been steep if it only goes for 7 hours. Like I said, I haven't finished the game yet.
But it is fun. It is good. It is polished. I mean, I agree with you on all the points. It is a very good looking game.
Yeah. Yeah. $30 might be a little steep.
Now that you mentioned it, probably paid too much for that. Probably should see if I could get my money back.
I don't know. I paid $50 for Dawn of War 2, and I've already played this a hell of a lot more than that, so...
You're getting your money out of it.
Yeah, I'm getting my money's worth. It's a really fun game. It's got a really good old-school feel to it. In fact, one point I was playing the warrior, and you're kind of running across these hills, and the bats start swarming down on you, and it really reminded me of Ghosts and Goblins, except, like, better and new and pretty.
It's like Ghosts and Goblins, only fun.
Next topic.
Okay, very good. We can move on. Let's see. Keith's been doing Blood Bowl.
Well, yeah, I haven't actually gamed that much this time round. But yeah, Blood Bowl's awesome.
By next weekend, I should have finished Ghostbusters for the 360.
Now, Ed was saying that game is a lot of fun.
Does he play multiplayer?
Yes.
Then that's probably where the fun is. The single player is kind of boring and repetitive. But let me say that for next weekend. Let me finish playing it. Because I think it's very short.
Archon for the iPhone finally came out.
Yeah, I tried that too.
You don't seem very impressed with anything this week.
Yeah, dude.
That sucked. Oh, I keep getting my ass kicked in Blood Bowl. Trine's too expensive. This is bullshit,
I
man.
want to go back to Hong Kong.
In states.
I don't play that many action games on the iPhone, so Ivan, you probably play more action games than I do. So, what do you think of Archon?
It's good. I like it. It's Archon. They did a good job of port. It's not really a port. It's a complete rewrite, but it's a faithful representation of what Archon was.
Yeah, I guess if I had one real complaint, it's that it's really tiny.
Well, yeah, not a lot you can do about that.
I'm used to hearing that. Oh, the game, yeah, the game.
No, I'm just saying. I understand, and also the nubby stick on the virtual control. I mean, it's a little. For what it is, it works very well. I've played worse games that have had worse implementations of that kind of stick on the iPhone, but they did a very good job on that one. I mean, it is a nice version of Archon, and I think it was on sale. It's still on sale?
I think it just went on sale, like for the holiday weekend. So I think it's $2 now instead of $4.
If you like Archon, you'll probably like this implementation of it on the iPhone. And I think there's going to be a PC version one day, so
yeah,
look forward to that.
Next topic.
Okay, moving right along. If nothing else, I guess I'll go through the stories I picked out. Oh, let's see here now. We got there's an Asteroids movie.
Oh boy.
What?
Okay, so there was apparently
You're joking, dude. No way. You gotta tell me that you're joking here.
I'm not joking. Here we go. I actually have no details other than there was a 4-studio bidding war on the rights to do an asteroid film.
Oh my god. Are you sure it was bidding to make the movie or to not make the movie?
Bidding to make the movie.
You make it. No, you make it, dude. I'm not making that piece of crap. No. You said you were going to make the next video game movie. You do it.
Wasn't that movie already called Armageddon? Except you just weren't in you didn't shoot it. You had to land on it and plant a bomb in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's asteroids. What do you want? What the hell can they do with that?
Exactly. What plot is there? Upcoming 2011 Frogger.
Well, if you don't think there's much of a plot there, I forgot I mentioned this story a while back. Apparently, Hasbro is going to pimp out its games as movies. And the 6 games they are turning into 7, I think, here is Monopoly, Candyland, Clue, Ouija, Battleship.
Clue's already a movie, like 3 times, wasn't it?
Clue, yeah.
Magic the Gathering, and Stretch Armstrong. Have there been any successful video game movies recently that I forgot about?
Recently? No.
I mean, Street Fighter, no.
Did anybody see that?
No.
I was going to rent it yesterday, but I forgot.
It was so good, I forgot. That's how good it was.
Did anybody see Dragon Ball, by the way?
I think it comes out this week or very soon.
I'd like to see it. I just don't want to go out of my way to see it. Like, I just want it to happen to be on. Oh, there it is. And I'd sit and watch
If they
it.
give us another Monday off to see a movie,
Exactly.
I wouldn't be upset if it was Dragon Ball.
That's right.
And how was Transformers 2?
Take Transformers 1 and add like 5 exclamation points to it.
Make it more Blaze-Splogy.
It was just baitastic. I have to say, the combat was dark. I mean, Optimus Prime did not fight in a very heroic fashion. There was, like, spines getting ripped out and, like, faces getting torn in half. It was pretty... Like, if those would have been humans, that movie would have had a hard time getting an R rating.
But they're robots, so it's okay.
Exactly, so everything was okay.
Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of films based on 80s toys, on the flight back, I read the G.I. Joe adaptation of the movie.
Oh, God. Why did you do that? Why would you do that to yourself?
I'm with him.
You know it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck, and you've been dreading this since it's gotten announced. Yet you torture yourself and then go read the plot for it.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there's one shining scene or one moment in the film that's like, that's G.I. Joe.
Is that it ends. It's going to have an ending. That's the shining gem of that movie.
When I landed, I threw the book out. And there's my summary review of the film.
You threw the book out?
It was so good, I disposed of this book.
But they melt the Eiffel Tower with acid.
No, they're nanites.
It's acid. Shut up. It's the only thing I was looking forward to.
Next topic.
Did we hear that somebody embezzled EVE Online's player-run bank?
Sweet. That is awesome, actually.
That's hysterical. I love when the real world creeps into video games. You can't escape it. You can't escape it. There are everywhere.
So EVE Online is that space MMO. The game masters are pretty standoffish. The community runs itself pretty much.
Yes.
And the economy runs itself. Their whole banking system is player run. One of the managers of one of the banks in there, he was an Australian named Richard.
Dick.
Yes.
That's appropriate too. Everything's appropriate today.
And I guess he needed some money. See, according to him, he needed the money for a deposit on his house and expenses related to his son's medical problems. So he embezzled from the bank about 200 billion interstellar credits. And then he went to one of those real cash for in-game money services and got about $5,000.
Good for him.
Good for him, man. Well done. You know what? If it wasn't against the rules of the game, good for him. He figured out a way to make money.
Well, if he hadn't have done the conversion and just embezzled the money, they would let it go. But since he did the conversion to real world money, use one of those services, they banned him from the game.
Oh, no. So he made $5,000 and got banned. Did they have to give the money back?
No, I don't think so. I don't think.
Then who gives a rat's? Okay, I guess I won't play your game anymore. Thanks for them $5,000. Have a nice day.
Oh, you sure told me this is going to be really difficult for me to get another copy of the game and then install it and have you not know who I am again. And it'll be pretty hard to build up my empire considering I have $300 trillion of in-game currency.
Oh, God, that's rich. That's what that is. It's rich. It's like chocolate.
Chocolate.
They banned him from the game. That's the worst they could do, and he got $5,000.
Oh, okay, I guess you win. I'll just take my $5,000 and I guess I'll have to find some other way to move on.
I learned my lesson.
I'll never do that again until I can figure out how to hack another game and steal the bank money and do it again.
Apparently, he was a really trusted guy, too.
Good. Well, you learned, didn't you?
Next topic.
Let's see here now. Other news, class action lawsuit over Final Fantasy XI.
Nobody cares about Final Fantasy XI.
That the online one? Is it still around?
Yes, it is. They're making a sequel.
Final Fantasy 11 2?
So is that just 4 eyes?
No, it's Final Fantasy. No, it's going to be Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, it's a boring lawsuit anyway.
Not embezzling money?
No, I mean, he's got a lot of charges here. Licensing of an online game software disguised as a sale. So he's complaining about that he has to buy the client for the game.
Huh?
What?
How do you even complain about that?
Yeah, how do you complain about... They made me buy this product in order for me to use it. That's obnoxious. I mean,
funny.
I want to use the product, but having to buy it, that's unacceptable.
You want me to spend money on what?
Next thing, you're going to tell me I have to install plumbing in order to use the city water supply. That's bullshit. I won't stand for it.
And apparently another charge was there are monthly fees to play the game.
Oh, heaven forbid!
And it's not like it says it on the box
No.
when you buy it.
Or the website or anywhere else. Nope. On some, he may have some standing because I guess there are fees and interest if you're late on your payments.
Just don't pay them. They can't affect like your credit rating or anything. They'll just cancel your account. And isn't it auto deduct from your credit card anyway? What are you living in, like, sending them a check every month like it's the water company?
I'll take a trolley down to the station and pay them.
Send it to them by Whirlybird. It'll be there post haste.
Young Timothy Johnson is traveling to the farther city. He shall drop off the payment upon the way, as long as he is not waylaid by bandits.
Brigands, highwaymen. Do they still have highwaymen? Because
I
that'd
don't
be
know,
awesome.
'cause they need them if they don't.
Just some guy hiding in the shrub with a dagger. Yeah.
Highwaymen. Oh no, brigands!
My prized mare has been hamstrung by this highwayman. I'll never get to Burgundy.
He stole my billycock. It was my favorite billycock.
Next topic.
Okay, let's do the mail.
Bag.
We've done that so many times.
Mailbag.
We've done that so many times.
Something new, something fresh.
Shut up.
How about this? How's this for new and fresh? We don't say a damn thing. We just start.
I like it. It's just crazy enough.
Okay. Then we'll just start without saying a word.
Yep.
It's so crazy it might just work.
Well, you have to say something. I mean, you can't say no words.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, something!
Hey, video game show and Keith, who sucks. I was just letting you guys know that you just got some free advertising, because I'm really a big computer browser game player. So I went through every free computer game like RuneScape, Sherwood, MechQuest, everything, and ran around yelling, videogameshow.com, go listen to it. So, yeah. And can you guys put this on the show, because my birthday is next week, and that would really complete my life if you gave me a hand sandwich and not a shattered dream pie. Damn you, Keith. Alright, bye.
Damn me. You know, and he sounds like a kid, so I won't insult his mom.
But we'll give him a shattered dream pie, though.
Yes, young one. It's not videogameshow.com.
What is videogameshow.com?
Not us.
It's not us, and I think it's like a money site or something.
Oh, yeah. It's like vintage video games, vintage video game competitions.
They parked the domain name, and
Yeah. Network Solutions coming soon? Yeah.
he just directed a lot of people over to that. So it's videogameshow.org for future reference.
Well, just, like, dub it over. When he says it, just go, org.
Well, that will solve the problem here, but apparently he advertised for us in many browser-based games, which I'm sure have a full population.
Vast amount of players.
You know what, but I am curious, why does he dislike me? What have I done to him?
Next topic.
Here's one good piece of mail. Okay. Hey guys, Failed Legend here. Something that's been bothering me lately is that video game genres have gotten so skewed with Mass Effect, BioShock, and Final Fantasy, all considered in the same genre. I think somehow the classification of genres has to be reestablished somehow, especially for the role-playing games, since it seems to be the most skewed. Don't get me wrong, I love both Mass Effect and BioShock, but when I go to a site and search all RPGs and BioShock shows up, or I search Fallout 3 and it is labeled as a shooter, it's becoming obvious that the lines are becoming too blurred. I was just wondering what your opinions are on this.
Well, you are right. The lines are definitely becoming blurred.
Okay, here. Let me put it this way. Do you find a problem with the fact that BioShock is considered a role-playing game on some sites?
Not particularly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're becoming blurred, but it's been blurred for quite some time. This isn't anything new.
Okay. It's not anything new. Would you consider Metroid a role-playing game?
It has role-playing game elements, so I guess I can go either way with that. You know, you do find, the new armor, and you can level that up, and so, things like that. So it has role-playing game elements. I guess by role-playing game elements, I mean upgrades. If you can improve your guy, there's role-playing game elements. But you're not ever going to find this is what it means to play a role-playing game. Here's a list. There's always going to be arguments, and some people say Fallout is a shooter. I don't think Fallout is a shooter. I would call that a role-playing game, not a shooter, especially with that whole VATS thing. But yes, you can go into first-person mode and shoot. So in the most literal definition, I guess, yes, it is. But when you start getting literal, then everything's going to be...
Duck Hunt.
Oh, we're back to it all comes full circle.
Do we need to do that again? Do we need to do that again?
Do it again for the kids.
Duck Hunt is not a shooter. I don't care what anybody says.
You're first person, and you're shooting things, so apparently it's a shooter.
Yes, but still, we don't have a game classification thing, I guess. If you need one, we don't.
Stop classifying them.
Yeah, just here's a game, and this is what you do in the game, and that should be enough. You really don't need to say, is this a role-playing game or not? I mean, what's the purpose?
Maybe they should pick like 5 things, like RPG, shooter, puzzle, a couple more, and then just like grade them, So it's a shooter level 3, but RPG level 4. So you go to the website and you want to search for games, you get some kind of Venn diagram back. like what games that you're actually looking for and may or may not be in the query you specified.
So you want a game with 2 parts role-playing, 1 part shooting.
That's right. I want to see some good overlap.
Next topic.
There's one other one here. On Piracy from Larry. First, I have to say that I love the show, guys. Great job.
Screw you.
Okay.
Wow.
I was wondering about your opinions on video game piracy. I don't pirate, but my friend pirates older games. Duke Nukem 3D, Postal 2, and Max Payne. And she loves it. Especially since most of the games have been cracked to be DRM free. So I was wondering your opinions on the subject. Do you think pirates are seriously damaging the industry, and do you think the industry is paying enough attention to it too little? What about pirating older games? Thanks, and again, great job with the show.
Yeah, as the game gets older, it becomes less bad because they're so much harder to find. So it's, I don't know, like something like Max Payne, I wouldn't even know. You couldn't even go to the store and buy that for like, the past 5 years. So it's...
Well, now the counterpoint is those services like Good Old Games, GOG.com.
Who are just trying to make money off of stuff nobody's paying for anymore anyway. Well, you can't pirate stuff on like a console. Well, I mean, I guess you can, but that's more difficult. Steam stuff takes care of itself, and so if you allow yourself to still be pirated, you're an idiot. So go ahead and pirate as much as you want. I have only a small amount of pity because there's so many ways to avoid getting your games pirated now that there's really no excuse to complain. It's obvious that these kind of DRM schemes that they have don't function. The only way to really avoid it is to have a game that requires you to be online, like something with Steam, which is fine, or something like a console where, the distributor has a lot more control over what can and can't even run on his system, except if you're in Hong Kong, because then you can just buy a chip or whatever and voids all your warranties and everything anyway, so if you want to go do it, go ahead and do it. You can think of it this way: if you like good video games and you're not paying for them, when they stop making good video games, you're not allowed to complain. If you're complaining that all these games are the same, all the genres are the same, they keep just selling stuff that no one wants to innovate anymore, it's like, well, because video games are really expensive, and then you pirate when these startup companies actually make good video games, and so then they can't make any more. And all they're going to do is make sequels to Madden.
And that was Video Game Show episode number 149 for Sunday, July 5th, 2009. Any ham sandwiches or Shattered Dream Pies to give to the world peoples?
We can give a ham sandwich to America.
Shattered Dream Pie to Bubbles the Chimp.
Is that thing still alive?
Not anymore. Steve McNair got killed too, by the way.
Who's that?
That was the quarterback for the Titans. Well, not anymore. He was the quarterback for the Titans.
Yeah, we figured that out, thank you.
Well, no, even before he died, he wasn't the quarterback for the Titans anymore. Yeah, I mean, yes, that's blatantly obvious, but...
And as usual, send your comments, questions, queries, concerns, or a roll call question to the mailbag at mailbag@videogameshow.org, Skype us at videogameshow, or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance call, and all normal fees apply. And that's a wrap. Good night.
The hell was that?
Yeah, compressed air.
Ah.
Of course.
I'm shooting compressed air in my face.
Practicing for later?
As soon as he finds a sock.
No, I just have a can of compressed air, and I need to lighten up.
Whippets?
I don't know.
Whip it good. Do, 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 do. Do a can of whippets. Do, 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 do. Whip it, whip it. Whip it, whip it, whip it. There's a shape, you can whip it. Do, do, do. Count 2, 3. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. Whip it, whip it.